It is so good to see you again. Now, this session is going to be kind of short. It's the history of Bethesda, and I'll fill in. I'm going to do a little bit of reading. Of course, I got to fill in and add my extra 2 cents. But as we start, I want to kind of give you the 30,000 foot view of the history of Bethesda. So, my wife, Pastor Rachel, her parents have been pastors here at Bethesda since 1978. Her grandfather founded the church in 1961. So you have grandpa, you have daughter taking over and son-in-law taking over, and then now daughter taking over and son-in-law. I think it's a pretty good thing. I guess I'm biased because I'm a part of it all, but I like to see God's faithfulness through all of it. But let me read you here so you kind of can fill in the blanks as I go ahead and read. Bethesda Church was founded in 1961 by Reverends Elton and Judith Weatherly, Pastor Rachel's grandparents. Okay, you got that. The need for a church in Ypsilanti area was brought to the attention of Reverend M.D. Beale from Bethesda Missionary Temple in Detroit. Now, they changed their name to Bethesda Christian Church, and I think they changed it one more time to Parkway Christian Church, and they are in Sterling Heights. Reverend M.D. Beale believed that it was time to start a church in Ypsilanti and sent out the Weatherlys to build something here in Ypsilanti, beginning with 5 families. 5 families. The blossoming church met at members' houses and at other locations. After a year, the church outgrew its meager accommodations and purchased a building in Ypsilanti on Lowell Street. The former church building now is Belfry Apartments. It's interesting, the church was right across the street from Eastern Michigan University. The apartments now, they're pretty cool to look at. A lot of memories are there. In 1978, after 17 years of ministry, Pastors Elton and Judith Weatherly felt the leading of the Lord to transition the pastorate to their daughter and son-in-law, Apostles Leon and Ann Johnson. The Johnsons created a warmth and a stability in the Lord that quickly grew the congregation. Sensing the growing pains, a building project began in 1988 on an empty farmland on Whitaker Road. And here we stand, 1800 South Huron Street. Pretty wonderful how it worked out. Through the faithfulness and tenderness of the Lord, our apostles, Leon and Ann Johnson, have created a welcoming environment. Their prayer has always been to love and minister to whoever the Lord sends to Bethesda. Because Apostle Leon's desire to see people become all that they could be, he formed Ministers Candidate School. We called it MCS in the early 90s. That's where I graduated from, my wife graduated from, and I believe there are several that graduated that are pastors or were pastors of a church that came out of that class. In the late 2000s, the school grew into a fully accredited Bible school. Its name was recently changed to Biblical Studies Institute. Now, with the pandemic and all that kind of stuff, that program is on hold, but Bethesda has had a history of some great education and will continue to provide great education. After 38 years of ministry, Apostles Leon and Ann decided it was time to turn over the ministry to Rachel and I. Now, I met Rachel in, 1993, I believe. I was at Eastern, didn't know what I wanted to do. I came to this church. I saw this beautiful young woman. I said, I got to have her as my wife. I'm just this poor Detroit guy that came out to get an education, and he found his wife and found a life that he could never have imagined. It has been fantastic. So I left Detroit, came to Ypsi, have never left. I've never gone back. So Rachel and I have had the church since 2013. We did it for about 5 years. We took a little break off, and now we have returned and are excited for the future. Excited what is going on. We've had a lot of craziness with the pandemic and businesses getting shut down and vaccine, no vaccine. A lot of stuff is going on. I believe that it is our job to bring a stability and offer comfort in the Lord and through the Lord to anyone that will hear us, to anyone in our community. We are to be that city on a hill. Our light cannot be hid. And I believe that is what our call has been. And as I explained in the introduction, those four core values, those guiding principles have really helped stabilize the church through its most difficult times and through the storms of life. This church has been around since 1961, and in no time in the future is it going to turn into a museum with a lot of good memories. We're just going to keep the good memories and continue to make good memories. So that is the end of History of Bethesda. And so, pretty sure, huh? So, I will see you at the next video.